one more example to find maximum and minimum of a set of numbers. Now we have a set of start at or begin at 0, and then it will increase up to the last element. So the j value or the high value will be 1 less than total number of elements in this particular collection or the group. Okay, now in order to solve this problem, we need to have a binary recursive tree. So basically binary recursive tree means what? Binary tree means what? Now suppose we need to plot certain node over here, certain elements, which will be further divided into two halves. Exactly two halves it will be divided, subdivided. Okay. Further that subdivision, again it will be further divided into two more halves. Like that we will continue dividing until we reach the small problem, wherein the small problem which we have defined it to be the elements or the sub problem consisting of either one element or two elements. Okay, now at every subdivision or at every position we need to write four different numbers: 1, 2, 3 and 4. What are first two numbers indicate?
Indices.
These are the indices, and the last two numbers are maximum and minimum within these indices. For example, here considering this example, okay, now we have 0 to 8 as a low or high or I or j. So the first cell will consist of a I value which is 0 and high value as 8. Now, is this problem, is it a sub problem now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right, it is not a small problem. We need to further divide. So we don't know what is maximum and minimum. So we will write it as max and min, which will be computed later. Okay, now we need to divide this particular problem into two halves by calculating the mid position. So what will be the mid value here?
4.
0 plus 8 divided by 2, that is 4. Okay, now can anyone tell me apart from Shraddha what values we need to write in these two cells? The left partition of first two cells. In the first cell, what should I write?
0 and 4.
0 and 4.
0 and 4, right? So the low value of the original problem will be low value, high value will be the mid value. For the other half, that is on the right hand side, right half, what will be the low value?
5 and 8.
5 and high value will be 8, right? Now with this particular, that is left hand side, do we know that can we define it to be a sub problem or a small problem here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
Because it consists of more than two elements. That means the maximum and minimum are unknown as of now. We will write it to be max and min. What about on the other hand?
Not a sub problem.
No, sir.
Not a sub problem, right? Now this will be written as max 1 and min 1. Okay, now again we will further divide the left half into two divisions, right? Two partitions. Now what will come here? Before that we need to calculate mid element. Mid is going to be what?
2.
2.
What will come here?
0,
0 and 2. And here again it is going to be max and min because it is not a sub problem or a small problem. Now over here, what should I write now at this cell?
3 and 4.
3, 4.
Okay, is it a small problem now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
it is a
sir.
small problem. We can define the maximum and minimum here, but we will as of now write the max 1 and min 1 because further we need to divide this part into two more partitions. So we will write it as max 1 and min 1. Now coming on to this particular half sub problem, we need to further divide or do the partition over here. So this time mid will be what? Mid is going to be 1.
1.
So here what we get?
0, 1.
1.
And 1 and max and min. We will start once we divide all the elements, then we will start the combining process. Okay, now here what should I write?
2
2
and
and
2.
2 and 2. So here max 1 and min 1. So the left half of the original problem which we have partitioned, we have filled with all its indices values and the maximum and minimum which we will be combining later. Coming on to the right half of the original problem. Now again, we need to divide this, or we need to do the partition for this sub problem. Now we need to calculate the minimum. What is the minimum here? Sorry, what is the mid value here?
6.
It is 6. So here what we get?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. This is going to be max and min. What about the right half of this?
7 and 8.
8.
7 and 8. Max 1 and min 1. Okay. Now when we divide the original problem and we keep on dividing this until we reach the end point, that is the small problem, we need to start combining the solutions. Sometimes the students will make a mistake, right? At what particular position we have to start combining the solutions. So the best thing is that look into the tree, and the bottom of the tree we need to look for. Here the bottom of the tree, you can see this is at the first level, top level, then this is next, this is the level next, and this is the last level. So at the bottommost level we have these set of values which are defined to be a small problems. So start from here. So best approach is that left and then the right part. So first we will try to work upon the left part. So this is, I'm going to write it as the first. Now this will be solved first. So between these two indices, that is 0 and 1, what are the elements we have? At 0 we have 25 and at index 1 we have 30. Now between these two, which is maximum?
30.
30. Then obviously the minimum will be 25. Right? So this small problem is now solved. Now we need to solve the next small problem. Which will be the next small problem that has to be solved?
Right hand side.
The right hand side with the indices values 2 and 2 has to be solved. So here I will write it to be a 2. That means this will be solved next. So at the index 2, we have the element 15 and the other element is also 15 itself because it is the same number. So between this, the max and min will be the same value. So both max 1 and min 1 will be having same set of values. Now, once we have this small problem, which are solved with the solutions, now we need to go further on the top level. Now, which one we need to solve? What are the index values that we need to solve now?
0 and 2.
0 and 2. This particular sub problem now we need to solve because we know the solution of its sub problems here. So next, this particular problem will get solved. Now we need to fill this particular max. For filling this max, we have two values. One is the max, other is the max 1. Max is 30 and max 1 is 15. Between these two, which one is maximum?
30.
30, right? So the max will take as 30. Similarly, to calculate the min value, we have two values here. One is this min, that is 25. Second one is min 1, that is 15. So between these two, which one is minimum?
15.
15 is the minimum. So the min value will get calculated as 15. Once this solution is arrived, next we need to look on at the corresponding level, the right hand side. This we have to solve now. So at index 3, what is the value?
Minus 10.
Minus 10. At index 4, what we have?
35.
35. Now between these two, which one is maximum and minimum?
35
is maximum
Maximum.
minus minimum.
Minus 10 is minimum. Now, the sub problems of this problem, we have the solutions, wherein the max can be either among this 30 or 35. So between these, if we compare, 35 is the maximum, so we get a max value here. And for the minimum, we have again two values, 15 and minus 10. So between this, which is maximum, sorry, which is minimum?
Minus 10.
Minus 10. So we get minus 10 here. Now, the left half of the original problem is being solved, right? Now we have to start working on the right hand side of the subproblem, the original problem. So we will again reach to the its bottom part. At index 5, we have 75, and at index 6, we have 40. So between these two, which is maximum?
75.
75.
Minimum.
40.
Now next, which one we need to sort?
7 and 8.
7 and
7 and
8.
8.
So at index 7, what is the element?
Minus
Nine.
15.
Minus
At index
15.
8,
10.
10.
10.
maximum,
10.
10.
minimum,
Minus 15.
Minus 15.
minus 15. Right? Now, both the halves of this problem is being solved. So combine the solutions together. So max 1 is obtained by comparing 75 and 10. So what will be the max 1 now?
75.
10.
Minus 15. Now we have reached to a situation where the sub problems of original problem is being solved, right? So the max can be obtained by comparing this 35 and 75, which will give the value as 75 as the maximum, and minimum is minus 10 and minus 15. So which is minimum now?
Minus 15.
Minus 2.
Minus 15. So once all the sub problems are solved and the solutions are combined, right? So we got the solution to the original problem. So between these indices 7 and 8 and all these elements, is it 75 the maximum and is minus 15 the minimum number?
Yes, sir.
So when you are writing in the exam, you no need to write the max and min over here. When you start writing, first keep on filling the first two numbers. Okay, like 0, 8, then have the m value calculated here, then 0, 4, 5, 8. So proceed until you reach the last element here, last position. Okay, now then we need to fill in these particular numbers like 1 here, 2 here, 3 and 4 will be this one, fourth one will be this calculated, then fifth is this. Once that is done, sixth is this one, seventh and eighth. And then finally the ninth will be calculated. You can mention these numbers also. If you mention, well and good. If you don't mention also, no problem. Okay, understood this particular problem, how to solve?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Now we'll continue with the quick sort. Right, quick sort already we have discussed the example. Students have taken it as a presentation and very nicely they have explained it. Now what I'm going to do is that I will try to explain the algorithm associated with the quick sort. Okay, now let me share both the screens simultaneously so that it is visible. Okay, now the algorithm is pretty simple. We have, I think the screen is visible, students. Are you able to see?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
The quicksort algorithm itself has two different procedures. The first procedure is the algorithm for the quicksort, the main procedure, and from then we will call one more procedure which is which will try to do the partition part. Right? In the example, we have seen that we need to do the partition as the approach or the procedure of the divide and conquer. We need to have the partitions. In order to do the partitions, we will have one procedure and one more procedure which will act as a quick sort, the main algorithm of that. At what particular point we need to stop doing the partitions and all, right? Now, we will consider an array. The first element of the array is placed at a low position, and obviously the next element will be at low plus 1, and so on up to the high position. The high position, the A of I indicates the last position of the given set of elements. Okay, then we need to set one more element, that is high plus 1 position, as the infinity, the plus infinity side, so that at one particular position we need to stop incrementing one of the variable there. Okay, once this is done, we need to have the quicksort algorithm. Okay, in the quicksort algorithm, this particular procedure takes 3 parameters. First is the set of elements, then the low value and the high value. The low and high are you can consider them to be indices of the first element and the last element. Right? Now, we need to do the partition. We need to do the partition when the low is less than high. What is the actual meaning of low is less than high? That means if there are more than one element in the group, we need to go for the partition. And if we reach that, if there is only one element in the group, we further need no need to do the partitions. Okay, so in order to implement that, we have set a condition low is less than high. If this is true, then only go for the partitions. Now, first is that the first statement, which we'll try to, let me remove the semicolon. This is not appropriate. We can remove the semicolons here. Okay, now call the partition here. This partition is what? It is the another procedure which we have implemented in this algorithm. This partition we will call and by passing the array low and high. What this partition procedure will do, it will make two halves of the given set of elements, and the partition position will be returned. At what particular position we are making the partition, that position will be returned, and that we will store into a variable j. So we got a position where we are making the partition. Once we receive once we get that particular j value, then we will make a left half and we will make a right half. Then again, once again, recursively, we will call the quicksort procedure. When we call, the left half can be called by passing low as low itself and high as j minus 1, that is left half, and the right half will be called as low as j plus 1 and high as high itself. Okay, I hope you understand these two statements here, how we have written low j minus 1, j plus 1 and high. If you have not understood this concept, please let me know. I will explain it once again. Is it understood, the left partition and right partition?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will focus on the other part, that is the main algorithm or which will perform the partition activities. Okay, now as you can see, the partition, as we are passing 3 parameters, first is the array low and high, so we are accepting those values. Right, now here we need to initially set 3 different things. First is the pivot. Pivot is basically nothing but the first element in the given set of elements. Means the first value in the array elements. If I consider them to be array elements, then the first element of the array is set as pivot. Look at the notation. It is A of low, means the first element in the given set. Then we need 2 more values. These values are the index values. These are the index values, that is, these are the positions, not the elements. Okay, understand this one. Most of the time students will get confused between ij and pivot. I and j are the indices or the positions of the elements, where I is set to the second element's position, I is set to the second element's position, and j is set to the position of the last element. That's it. That is why we have written I is equals to low plus 1 and j is equals to high. Okay, now once these things are set, we need to keep on performing incrementing I and incrementing I, decrementing j. Based upon the I and j value, we will try to swap ij, or else we will stop the incrementing and decrementing, and then we will try to swap pivot and j. Right? So those code is written over here. First is we will increment I until we find the array element greater than or equal to pivot. Okay, greater than or equal to pivot until greater than of I equal to pivot is written as in other way like this: a of I. If it is less than pivot element, then increment I. For the j, it is going to be a of j is greater than pivot, decrement j. So once these I and j are set properly, then we will compare the values of I and j. If I and j, if I is less than j, then we will swap the elements at ith position and jth position. If not, then we will not swap them. Then again, if not means what may happen? Once, since all these statements are put under the while loop and the condition is I less than j, so next time for the next iteration, I less than j will turn out to be a false. Since it becomes false, that means what? Definitely I is not less than j means I have crossed each other, or sometime I and j both are equal. In that case, we need to swap the pivot with a of j. Once these two are swapped, the position of j will be returned. And this j is what? It is nothing but the position at which we are making the partitions. And this j will be returned back to this particular statement. Based upon that j, we will make the left partition and the right partition. Right? Now, let us try to trace this particular algorithm with the example. Pay attention, students. At any time, if you find that the tracing you are not able to follow, interrupt me, as and there itself, I will try to solve your doubts. Okay. Now, on the left side, I'm keeping the algorithm here. Okay. And on the right side, let me have the exercise here. Okay. Now, assume that these are the elements. These are the elements. Now, one more thing, students, just pay attention to the cursor movements. Okay, just pay attention to the cursor movements at what particular elements of the index I am showing the cursors. These are the array elements. There are 8 elements. So the low value is considered as 0. High value is considered as 7. And we also know that at a of high plus 1, we need to set infinity, that is plus infinity. So that is shown over here. At 8th position, we have plus infinity. Okay, now coming on to the algorithm here, if low is less than high. So what is the low value? Is 0. High value is what? It is 7. So is 0 less than 7? Yes, it is true. So since it is true, it will go into enter into the if block and it will try to call the partition. So now the partition will be called, means we will arrive at here. Now partition is being called. Low and high we are passing. Low value is 0 and high value is 7. Okay, now pivot element is set as a of low. A of low means what? When I represent pivot, you have to see that it is 25. You have to understand as 25. That is the element, right? Then the second assignment is the index value, that is I variable. I variable is set as low plus 1. When I say I means it is the index. I means it is index 1. 0 plus 1, that is low plus 1 is 1 over here. And at the same time, j is set to high, and we know that high value is 7. So now j means it is 7. Okay, understand that? Pivot means 25. I means index value, that is now it is 1. J means again it is the index value, that is 7. Okay, now we will go into the checking the condition of I. Is I less than j? Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is true because 1 less than 7. 1 less than 7 is true. It will enter into the while loop. What has to be done inside the while loop? We will keep on incrementing I and we will keep on decrementing j until the conditions are satisfied. Condition is what? Increment I until a of I is greater than or equal to pivot. In other terms, you can simply think that a of I, is it less than pivot? Now I is 1, a of I means 10. Is this 10, right? Is this 10 less than pivot? Yes or
Yes.
no? Yes. If it is yes, what has to be done? I has to be incremented. Now I will get incremented to the next position. Now I will somewhere come onto the pointing to the 72. Now at 70, that is at position 2, the element is 72. Is 72 less than pivot?
No, sir.
No.
No. No means we have to stop it here itself. So we have to stop at the index 2 here. Now I is somewhere from here, I is now moved on to this particular position. Right? Now, we will come on to the while loop. In the while loop, you can see is a of j greater than pivot. J is pointing to 7, so a of j means it is 9. Is this 9 greater than 25?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. No means we will not decrement j itself. We will not decrement j itself. So j will remain as its own position itself. Right? So we did the increment and decrement for I and j. In this case, we could only increment j. We could only increment I. J was kept as it is because it did not satisfy the condition. Right? Now, the next part is this particular block. Is I less than j now? Is I
Yes,
less than j? Is it true?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right?
Yes.
I means 2, j means 7. 2 is less than 7. Since the condition is true, what has to be done? The element at ith position and the element at jth position, that is 72 and 9, both have to be swapped. You can see I have highlighted those things here. Since I is less than j, it is true. Since it is true, we need to swap the elements. We need to swap the elements. So 72 and 9 will be swapped. So that is shown over in the step number 3. So at ith position, we got 9 and at jth position, we got 72. Right? I is still at 2 itself and j is still at 7 itself. Right? Since after swapping is done, the control will again fall back onto the file. In the while loop, again condition is there. Is I less than j? Now, what is the value of I now?
2,
At step number
9.
3, what is the value of I?
9.
9,
9.
Again, you are
2.
making wrong. When I say
2.
value of I means index value,
2, sir.
it is 2. Is this 2 less than 7?
Yes.
Yes. So since I is less than 7, then again we will try to perform incrementing I, decrementing j. And based upon ij value, either we will swap I and jth elements or we will do the some other activities. Okay. Now coming on to the first while loop here. Condition is what? A of I less than pivot. A of I is what?
9.
It
9,
is 9. Is this 9 less than pivot?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
What has to be done?
Increment.
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 So now from here, I will get incremented to the next position. Now, at this space, again, A of I is what? 18. Is this 18 less than pivot?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Then what has to be done again?
I will increase.
I will again increment. Now from here, I will get incremented to the next position. So now I came to 40. Now, is this 40 less than 25?
No,
No.
sir.
No.
No. No means the condition for this while loop will be skipped. It is false. It will be skipped now. Means stop incrementing I now. Now we will move on to the J here. We need to decrement J. Condition is what? Is A of J greater than pivot? Now J is pointing over here and which has the value 72. Is this 72 greater than pivot?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes means decrement the J. So from here, J will get decremented to the next value, its previous value. Now again, while condition. Is 32 greater than pivot?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
So condition is still true. So again, we will decrement J. Now J will come to its previous value. Now, the element at Jth position is 11. Is this 11 greater than pivot?
No.
No,
Sir.
sir.
No.
No, it is not. Means now stop decrementing J. So we incremented I and we decremented J. Now I is having the value as 4 and J is having the value as 5, the index values, right? Now look into this particular block. Is I less than J? Is this condition true?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
4 is less than 5, condition is true. What has to be done?
Swap.
Swap I and
Swap
J.
the elements
Swap.
at ith position and the element at jth position. So these two will get swapped, right? So after that, we get these things, 11 and 40. Understood, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now, since this end of this particular if block, it will again fall back onto the while loop condition. The condition is what? I less than J. Now, is this I less than J? Is it true now? I is 4 and J is 5, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
4 less than 5 is still true. Then again, we will try to work it out incrementing I and decrementing J. So what will happen now? Will I get incremented now? Can you tell me?
Yes,
Look
sir.
into this particular
Yes,
file
sir.
block. A of I is what?
11.
11. Since it is 11, is 11 less than pivot?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So
Yes.
sir.
where it will go, it will move on to the next one. So I will come over here also. So I is also pointing to the 40 element. Okay, from here I is moved on to the next element. Now, next at I we have 40. Is this 40 less than pivot?
No, sir.
No, means we have to stop incrementing I. Now look upon the J. J is what? 40. Is this 40 greater than pivot?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
decrement it. So from here, the J will get decremented and it will come on to its previous value over here. Now at J we have 11. Is this 11 greater than pivot?
No, sir.
No.
Stop decrementing. So we have I and J value. Now this if condition. Is I less than J?
No.
No. I is 5, J is 4. So condition turns out to be false. So don't swap these two numbers. So again, control will fall back onto the while loop. Again, in the while loop, if you look, I less than J is there. This condition will become again false. Since it is becoming false, what will happen? The while loop will get terminated. It will move on to the next set of statements. In the next set of statements, what we have? Swapping the element at jth position with the pivot element. At jth position, we have 11 and at pivot, we have 25. So these two will be swapped. So we get 25 and 11 over here. Once that is swapping is done with the pivot and A of J, we return the position, that is J. So here J is what? It is nothing but 4. So this 4 will be returned back. Once this J is returned, that means the algorithm will come on to the quicksort. J will be taken as 4. Then we found the partition value. Look at here in the diagram, we have found the partition. So at this 25, we make the first partition, that is left side, and the right partition, that is partition number 2 on its right side. So we got 2 partitions. Okay, in case of the quicksort, the partition is not exactly the 2 halves. It may vary depending upon the elements here. But point to remember is that when we make the partition, from this particular position, that this element, left hand side, whatever we find the values, all these values are less than this number, the partition number. Is it true here? The elements which are on the left side of the 25, are they smaller values?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And what about the right partition? We will find all the elements are greater than the partitioned value. That means what we achieved here is that from the given set of values, the number, the first number, we will try to push it, or we will try to reposition the first element such that once it is repositioned, it will never be further replaced. Means it will be positioned at a perfect place. Left hand of that will be the smaller values, right hand of that will be the greater values. In such a way, the partition is aligned. Once the partition is done, again recursively the elements are called here. Okay, now try to further proceed with the same approach. Then we will find something like this. This will be further again divided. And here step number 11, we will have one more partition. So again, we get 2 elements. That will be further partition. We get 1 element. Once we get the 1 element, we will stop. When we stop that position, the elements will be in a sorted order itself. Okay, I will share you this particular workbook with you with the algorithm. Try to trace it once again. Okay, if you are finding any difficulties, do let me know in one of the class. I will try to sort it out. Okay, tomorrow I will share the remaining notes of quicksort. I think binary search I have not shared it, right? Binary search also I will share, then max min I will share, and the quicksort. All these 3 I will share with you. Try to go through the notes, write down in your fair book. If there are any difficulties, come up with the questions. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.